Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Costello and I am a developmental editor, writing mentor, educator, and young adult author. Today I wanted to go through, as I said in my last video, and really dive into the different editing services that I will be offering opening in January 2021. I am taking information now if you would like to look into the service, but I will not be beginning projects until the new year. So I am working as a developmental editor, which means I am not someone that you go to if you need to work on your grammar or your line editing and specific word choice and those sort of things. I will be working on helping to make sure your plot is strong enough and your world building makes sense and your characters' reactions to things are believable and make sense for them based on actions that they've taken prior and those sorts of aspects. So a developmental edit is where your editor looks into character development, plot structure, and the other goings on of your manuscript. So this is a really good time if you've produced a first draft and you think it is strong enough to be shared with people, but there's just something about it that doesn't sit quite right, but you can't figure out what it is. And you don't want to just send it to your friend because they're just going to say that it sounds good. This would be a really good place for a developmental edit. So, what are the different things that I am offering? So, I am offering a first chapter critique, which is where I will read over your first chapter and give you an in-depth critique, including line edits and overall comments. So, is it too much information at the very beginning that just bogs down the chapter? Is it interesting? Do I want to keep reading further? Are your characters immediately engaging, or am I just bored and don't want to continue? That is a first chapter critique, and that is currently available for $20. This is up to 20 double-spaced pages at 12-point font. The first hook is very similar to the first chapter, but this is the first 50 pages of your manuscript. So this is the first few chapters, the first really good chunk of your manuscript. And again, it'll include detailed notes within the comments, or detailed notes within the text and comments, and possibly some suggestions as to where, if I think there's an issue that could be adjusted. But again, all of this is your choice as to make those changes or not. Whether or not an editor suggests something, you do not have to take it. Very important. That'll be something I discuss in a future video. The first hook critique is for $50. 50 pages, $50, nice and easy at this point. And that is for the first 50 pages of your manuscript, double-spaced up to 12-point font. I am working on developing a shorter outline critique. Right now I have a mentorship program, which we'll get to in a little bit, that is a longer term thing, but I'm working on figuring out the phrasing for a shorter outline critique and just the overall plot structure of things without seeing an actual draft. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know down in the comments below, and I will try to get that up before January. I'm just working on the phrasing and how I want to describe it and what exactly I would be giving you. So then we get into the full manuscript critiques. And I have two different options that I will be offering. So the reader's report is the next scale on the list, and this is a kind of like a beta reader on crack. It is going to be a in-depth review, editorial letter of your manuscript with suggestions based on the strengths and weaknesses of your plots and subplots, and suggestions of where I think it could go in the next draft. This is for $100, depending on the length of your manuscript. If things are over $100, there might, or not $100, 100,000 words, there might be some tweaks in pricing. But again, just let me know. The full manuscript critique with detailed comments in text, in line with suggestions and thoughts as they come to me in the moment and after a second read, will include an in-depth review that elaborates your strengths and weaknesses, outlines the plots and subplots, gives suggestions as well as inline edits and comments. Again, those edits and comments are not going to be about grammar or syntax or anything like that. This is solely about plot And if there is something that doesn't mesh, like continuity errors, did you say they were a twin earlier, but now they're just an older sister, so they're not twins anymore? This person got shot, but now they're magically healed. Those sorts of things, where it'll be those sorts of comments to help strengthen the overall story of your manuscript. And then we're going to get into the mentorship program. So right now I currently have 2 separate mentorship programs available. And the first one is an outline/revision development. This is a 2-month-long collaboration where, depending on the project, if you have not written anything, it'll be in the lower bracket. If you have written something, it'll be at the higher bracket, because I will need to review what you have written prior. And this is where we will go through your plot and make sure that everything that you have outlined makes sense. If you've already written it, it'll be like reverse outline, where we'll go through plot by plot point and see if things make sense and really try to hone your story to the best thing we can before you begin drafting or your second draft. This will include twice monthly video chats as well as emails to make sure you're holding yourself accountable. And this will include a tailored approach to you and your project and your needs, including worksheets and other necessary resources to help you become the best writer you can at this time for this given story. And the last program that I am currently offering is the book mentorship program. I want to think of a different name for it, but right now it's just called the book mentorship. And this is a 4 to 6 month long collaboration depending on your projected work. Obviously, a fantasy series with multiple books might take a little bit longer than a young adult contemporary romance that's only projected to be 70,000 words. So there's a little bit of a difference there. This will act as a springboard to help you plan your writing from development to completing the first draft or second draft, depending on how quickly you work. And this longer term services encompasses outlining, drafting, planning tools to make time for your writing, having that accountability buddy like in the outlining to make sure you're getting stuff done, those bi-weekly video chats as well as emails to have that person to be a springboard to make sure that what you're doing makes sense, and oh no, I'm having this issue and I'm not really sure how to go about it. You have someone that is deeply knowledgeable about your project that is able to help you. Because how many times have we sat down and gone, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know where to go with this. I know I've been there. I'm currently there right now with my current book. But this would be your own personal support system. And again, it will include that tailored approach where if you're having trouble with character arc, we can sit down and do character worksheets and figure out how to make this make sense and what went wrong and how to get you back on track to produce the best piece of work that you can at this time. If you are interested in any of these services, please email info@scripturentpress@gmail.com to discuss any projects that you want to move forward with, especially for the mentorship programs, to make sure that I am the right fit for you, because I wouldn't want to waste your time and or your money to find out that we're not going to be a good fit. If, like I said earlier, projects that are or estimated to be over 100,000 words do have higher fees, as it will take more time for me to get through them. My current plan would be for shorter projects to get back to you within 2 weeks. Longer projects and mentoring are obviously going to take longer. The manuscript critiques, I'm looking at about a month-long turnaround. So again, if you reach out, definitely let me know what your intended timeline is. As I said, there is payment plans also available. There's a payment policy on my website now, so you can go and check that out for more information. At this time, I am currently not accepting any clients that work within the realms of nonfiction, poetry, erotica, or Christian fiction. I don't feel that I have a strong enough skill set or interest in these projects to really help you to be the best thing. So if you have any projects like that, I would steer away from working with me. If you do want to work with me, some things that I would ask that you would include in that email would be your name, email, a way that I can contact you, that you check regularly a description of your project, the genre, and the intended audience, so that I have a little bit of an understanding going into discussing the project. There's construction. I have a bit of an understanding of what your project is before we begin discussing to make sure that we're going to be a good fit. My biggest thing with the developmental edit is I don't like, this is totally personal, I don't like doing a copy edit or a grammar edit on something that I don't know if I'm going to keep, and I don't know if it's strong enough to keep. The developmental edit is solely for helping to produce the best story you can, and that is really important to me. As I said in my last video, I have been storytelling in some shape or form since I was in middle school. I started writing in middle school and I started acting in 6th grade. So storytelling in many capacities is really important to me, and I think that it shows in how you portray your stories. So yeah, I don't know where I went with that. That was unscripted, can you tell? If you have enjoyed this video and the explanations of the services that I'm going to be offering starting in January 2021, please give this video a like and hit the bell so you're notified when I post, as well as subscribe. I would really appreciate it. All of my social media is listed down below, but you can find me at Scripturient Press for my editing and writing educational content, and at author Caitlin Costello for my fiction. I currently, when this goes out, should be on pre-order for my newest book, Until All the Stars Are Found, which is a science fiction military academy book. And I also have 2 books out in my fantasy series, The Rituals and Rebellion, which are also available to order. Thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with me today. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!